Hi, thanks for checking out our channel. This is going to be a how-to video, hopefully, on a Gallagher Solar B100. This is a 12-volt unit that Gallagher was making for a while. I think there still might be a few out there on the shelves. They kind of phased it out here recently. This is what are we in? October 2018. I think they've slowly been working these out of the system. There's now a Gallagher S100, which is a all-in-one unit that has a built-in battery. These you had to use a like a car battery, boat battery, head down inside this case here. But we'll get in this one and we'll show you how to test it, and hopefully we can fix it while we're working on this thing. So I don't know what's wrong with it. It came to us for repair. But as you're watching this video, if you would like to subscribe to the channel, if you like the video, hit the thumbs up button. You got questions, ask. You can go to our website, ask questions there. You can go down to the subject comments area and leave a comment down there and ask them questions or comments or about whatever. Well, so I took the bottom of that unit off. That's where the battery goes. It has no use besides holding the battery. So I got rid of it, got it out of the way. Looking at this unit here, this is a you got the solar panel wire and the battery wire for your 12 volt all hooked together. The only thing that I see that they don't have hooked up is this wire, which is from the solar panel. And if you look inside these squeeze handles on these little alligator clips here, there's a one wire going on there. If you look on the other side, that little tab right down inside there, that is where this wire plugs in on. So that's how it ties together. So you just kind of line it up and you'll get it on there and just start it and just press it on with a screwdriver. That's a little loose, so I might tighten that up. But so let's just, for the heck of it, let's hook it up to a good power source. So you need about 12.5 volts there. Probably get by like 12.2, but we'll just crank it to 12.5 and we'll see what it does. So it has a bunch of features on the switches here. If you look at it like this, there's a rabbit symbol there. That's your normal pulse, like every second or so, second and a half. Then you've got a turtle down here. It's a slower pulse, like every 2-3 seconds. Then you've got over here, you got 0, which is off. You got 1, which is a full power, and half, which is half power. And off from this one, you also have a moon and a sun. I believe this is like night save or day save and night save mode. So if you hook it over here, it saves the battery at night, so it pulses slower at night, faster during the day. So if you've got animals that go to bed at night, you're not worried about predators at night, you can put it over here. This is day save, so if your animals are active at night, not so much during the day, you can put it over here. Most people just put it to the rabbit, put it to the 1, and get full power, full pulse, you know, normal fast pulse all the time. So we're gonna leave it on rabbit, flip it over to the number 1. What it should do, this is your battery light, this is your output light. This light should show green, showing you got a good full charge battery. It should flash, and this light should flash red with every pulse. So we'll flip it over to the 1. It should be on. And as you can see, battery voltage is good because I got 12.7 volts going into it. It's flashing green, but a red light is not flashing. So that means we have no output, and you can barely hear it clicking. This should kind of flash kind of one after the other. So we're going to turn it off. And we'll open it up here in just a second, but I want to test this solar panel because this is their old glass solar panel, and you can see there's this kind of a discoloration blemish there. These solar panels, it's hard to test them in a shop with the light overhead because you need smaller units. You can get by with this, but bigger units you need basically full sunlight to get them to really read right. But we'll try it and we'll see what we get. We'll just kind of use our best guess here. I have to put this meter off to the side because there's a bad glare on it. But just sitting here with it turned off, I'm only getting 0.7 volts out of it. Let's unhook that and see if it changes anything. Nothing. Okay, let's, for the heck of it, let's unplug the solar panel wires from the unit. So we'll just find the solar panel wire on both of them. Now you're just dealing with just a battery wire. So set that to the side, and we'll test right here. So we'll just see if there's any problem with those connectors. And we're not getting much different. We're getting 0.1. We tilt the panel back see if it changes anything. Well, we got bad solar panel, so that's part of an issue. So we'll have to put another solar panel on the thing. This is the old glass solar panel. The new ones are not glass. They are about this size. It's hard to see in this video, but they're about that size. But they're glass. I'm trying to think here what I'm trying to say. But you got to be careful so they don't... Oh, wait a minute here. Hold on. Look at this. Ah, they might have tricked me. See how this is your fence and ground leads? They're clamped on here, and that's direct short, because if you follow these leads back, they're going right back to the fence and ground knobs there. Since it's tight on the metal, that's dead short and energizer out. So maybe, maybe the output is fine on this thing. So let's hook this thing back up. Maybe they just got a bad solar panel. Maybe hook this back up here, and we'll just... I didn't even realize that now. I didn't notice the leads were connected on there. Most people don't send the leads with them. Alright, well, I'm going to hook up good voltage again to it. Oh, wait a minute here. What am I doing? Oh, stupid. Hook my battery lead back up. Needs to go here. Alright. Now look at it. See, now both lights are flashing. See the green one at the bottom, which is supposed to, and then the top one is showing red. So that's good. You can hear it clicking a little louder, so that's even a better sign. So let's turn this off. I'm going to turn on its side here. I'm going to get my fence tester. Turn this overhead light off. Get rid of that glare. All right, I'll hook my ground up and my fence up, and we'll power this thing back on, and we should be probably 8,000 volts, give or take, on full power. Oh, this thing's showing almost 10, so we're probably 9,000, give or take. This is just a guesstimate, but this does a pretty good job. So based on this one, it's just got a bad solar panel. But we'll go through a few more things with it real quick, just to show you how to get into it and everything. Flip it over to the back side like this, and there's 6 screws, Phillips screws, one there, and then one in each corner. They're just a standard size Phillips screws, so you just loosen them up. Sometimes they'll come out whenever you loosen them up. Sometimes they stay in the case, but just, you know, keep track of them. And this sequence of testing and stuff is the same on a B200 Gallagher and a B300. Those have a well, later ones had different. B100 and 200 later ones had the same solar panel. Back in the day, for this one is a 2009. So back then they had 2 separate solar panels because they were different units. And this one's a 5.5 watt panel. The new ones are now a 10 watt. And the solar panels on the S22 or B100s were older ones were 11 watts, but they now take a 10 watt. But taking them apart is basically the same way. So once you get the screws loose, you can usually just pull that orange piece right off there. As you can see inside, there's 3 parts to it. There's a control board here. There's a main module power board there that does all the pulsing and snapping and discharging, and underneath that board is a transformer. They don't hardly ever go bad. Usually it's this board or this board. This is a newer board. This board here is a 2016 board that's in there, but the unit's a 2009. So this unit at some point in time has been fixed. The board down here is a 2009 as well. So this board's original. I don't know about the transformer. They will bat that off, so I'll assume it's probably original. But that board is new. If you open up a newer one, they don't have all these capacitors lined up in a row. They've got 2 or 3 big ones sitting there. This is just a newer style that they went to. This is pretty clean on the inside, so I'm just going to put this cover back on. But I guess what I can show you is if you, let's say you have one of these, the unit turns on, but only the green light flashes, but the red light doesn't flash, then usually it's this board here has got a problem. If it doesn't power up at all, and you know you got good voltage in the battery and everything, then you got a 50-50 shot. It's probably this, or it could be your battery leads have corrosion or something in them, or rusted of some sort. It could be this board, but then you don't know if this board's an issue until you get a pulsing again, so it's hard to tell. It could be both boards. But how you get this board out, this control board they call it, is that these knobs on the inside are kind of a locking mechanism to them. So to get the board out, you have to have the knobs on the outside on 0 and rabbit, which I do have it on there. So I'm gonna turn it to a different position. I'm just gonna pick one. So if you try to, I always put my finger right here on the board and over here on the corner, and just kind of lift up, put pressure down against this board and lift up with these 2 fingers on the bottom side of this board. If you have that switch in any position, it will not pull up. So you have to have both switches in the up position, which is 0 and rabbit. Then that board pops right out of there. So if you have that board in any other position, this board will not come out. So make sure whatever you do, don't take these screws off here and to try to get the board out, because you got to get all this stuff in the right orientation, the right position, or the unit won't turn on right. You know, fast to be slow, low power be high power, and off and be on, or whatever. You'll get all mixed up unless you take pictures and you put it back together right. But that's the hard way. You do it this way, the board comes right out. Then you got these little pins here on this board. It's hard to see in the video, but there's like a dozen pins or so right here, and they slide up into this little thing here. So when you put it down, those have to go inside this thing here. But if you also look, there's this better look, not much better, but there's this these 2 inside pieces on the switch. They've kind of got a short side here and a long at the back side here and here. And if you look at this, it's short here and there, and it's longer down here at the bottom. So the board goes in like this. So you kind of line it up at the bottom right here and here on the top side of the switches. Slide it down and push it on. And then what you want to double check is if you look down in here, you can't see it in the video at all, but look down inside here and make sure that those 8 or 9 or 10 pins, whatever it is, are going up into that little piece I showed you a minute ago. So once it is, you know, then you're fine. And then you just put this orange piece back on here. Some of the old ones had a black piece instead of orange, but Gallagher wanted to do their whole black and orange color scheme thing, so they made the cases black, and this upper case black, and this divider piece orange. And then make sure it's all the way on there, and just tighten your screws down. There's, like I said, it's just Phillips screws. So this one's basically done, minus having to change out the solar panel, which I'm not going to waste a bunch of time on that right now on this video. But as you can look on the back here, this panel is held on with these brackets here, and there's a big plate bracket down here that holds it at the bottom, and the 2 sides over down here. So we'll have to take these bolts off, or these nuts off these bolts here, and then the panel will pop off, and then you got to get a new panel, and either the brackets are going to fit it or they're not, you know, depending on what size bracket or what size panel you put on there. The new 10 watt panels, these brackets don't fit. I can make them fit. I just modify these ones and make it fit, so that way you don't have to buy a new bracket. So has cut them shorter. I think it's a little. I think the new panels are not quite as big or quite as tall. But that's what I'll do with this one here. But other than that, this one's working fine. Besides needing a new solar panel, like I was saying, if you look there, there is a blemish right there. So that's why this panel is probably going bad. Probably from age. You know, it's almost 10 years old. I don't know how long the customers actually had it, but the solar panel is junk. So we'll put a new panel on there and get the guy going again. But hopefully this helped you out. You know, this wasn't much of a repair on the inside, but you know, it showed you how to open it up and how to test things, how to hook things up, and what things look like on the inside. So if you're unsure if you want to tackle one of these, you know, at least you know what you're kind of getting yourself into before you go too far. If you have one of these units and you want it looked at by us, we'd be happy to, you know, either troubleshoot or the phone with you, and you can buy parts from us. And you know, we'll give you 1.5 years on the parts. You know, 1.5 years warranty on those parts you buy from us. If you do want to send one in, if your unit is powering up just fine, clicking, pulsing, you're not having any, or at least flashing the lights of some sort, and you're sure your battery's fully charged, save the battery in the base of the unit there with you. That saves on freight and the size of the box, because the customer sent us the whole bottom and top and the solar panel, and it costs so much money, even though it's not real heavy, to ship that unit, because you gotta think that base of that unit is the same physical size as a boat battery. So it's a pretty good sized case, so you need a good sized box to hold that. So that's just, you know, I'll probably knock $15 off the shipping price just by saving that base there with you. And if you can remove the solar panel from the unit by removing those nuts off the back side on those two at the top and two at the bottom on the back there that hold that bracket to the panel. If you can't get the brackets off the handle because of whatever reason, just loosen the nuts off there and send just the top cover of the unit with the bracket still attached if you need to. And then we can go from there. It saves money on shipping the unit, because you're not sending the panel, not sending the base. It just saves you money. You know, who knows how much it saves, but it saves you a bit by not having a big box and paying for the freight on it and everything. So that's what I would do. But you know, give us a holler sometime. We'd be happy to help you out. We don't charge anything for looking at something. We'll give you a free quote. And if we do fix something, we put a 1.5 year warranty on the repairs that we do. That goes for malfunctions and lightning damage. It does not cover bugs and water damage and mishandling and something like that. But until we do another repair, we appreciate you checking out our video. Go to our website at fencerfixer.com, and it's Fencer and Fixer with an F as in Frank. And you know, we'll do another video sometime. But until we do another video, we will see you later.